Hello. So we are back alive.
I'm barely alive. Well, no, I just did 3 cases. I'm a little tired. Not a lot.
We almost didn't make it, but not because he was late from work, because our lunch didn't make it, and then we were hangry.
We had a lunch challenge. It didn't arrive on a timely basis, but I wolfed down a cheeseburger.
Which is not part of our diet, but sometimes you have to make exceptions.
Did you guys see that thing where the McDonald's person lost, I don't remember the exact numbers, he ate 3 months or something, only McDonald's, and ended up losing weight? It's the calories, stupid! Of course, if you have a caloric restricted diet, doesn't matter whether you eat fast food or junk food, it's the calories. So yeah, there are things on any fast food menu that you can pick, and the calories will stay within a good range, 400 or 500 per meal, and you won't gain weight. You might actually lose a little weight if you were having 1,200 calorie meals from a health shop, and now you're having a 600 calorie meal from McDonald's. You're gonna lose weight because it's the calories.
So just to give you an idea, so I had half a bar this morning, so that was 50 calories. And from McDonald's, we ordered 1 meal to split. And the reason we ordered McDonald's was because our healthier order didn't make it, and McDonald's is the closest and fastest thing. And once you get down to a certain weight, and once your metabolism is working a certain way, and a lot of you can relate to this, it's hard to go past your certain hours of eating. You start to feel really bad when you don't. So it was really important for us to get some kind of calories in our body today.
When you're in a time crunch like that, you know, McDonald's is the option. A cheeseburger, small fries, you add up the calories. It's not a calorie terrible meal. Might not be the most excellent, healthiest meal, but it's a quick meal that is not going to destroy your diet. Now, you go for the Big Mac and the super large fries and the chocolate shake. Yeah.
You have the calories for more than a day.
Exactly. Yeah. You're going to get a lot of calories and become obese eating McDonald's.
So I just had 1 cheeseburger and a diet soda, so that was 300 calories for me.
Yeah.
So
and I had cheeseburger and fries, and it adds up to around 460, 500,
right,
which is I'm on about a 1,500 calorie diet a day. That's fine. So later I just have to be a little wise and not go too much with dinner.
And that's the other thing. So obviously we didn't eat what we were wanting to eat for lunch. So now today for dinner, we have to be a little more conscious of what we're going to eat for dinner.
Is it worth? Yes. Is it worth it? Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. When I put these pants on this morning, it was worth it. So worth it. So that was just a little bit about our day so far. We already do have some questions from patients that have sent them in over the week. So we'll start with those questions and then we'll take it from there.
Okay.
And I'm getting old, so I gotta put glasses on to read. Okay. Una pregunta. Durante el día tomo mucha agua. Después de la cirugía tengo que tratar de bajar la cantidad de agua. Tal vez es una pregunta boba. Sorry. Jajaja.
No es
boba.
No es una pregunta boba y es una pregunta común. Típicamente las personas toman mucha agua, pero toman mucha agua de una sesión. O sea, se toman 8 o 10 onzas de una sesión, después a las 3 o 4 horas toman 8 o 10 onzas, después toman 10, 12 onzas. Al final del día están tomando 30, 40, 50 onzas, lo que sea. Después de la cirugía no le van a caber 8 onzas de repente. El hábito que hay que crear es beber frecuentemente pequeñas cantidades. Pero si uno bebe 2 onzas cada 5 minutos, en una hora, son 24 onzas. Cabe más que cabe.
Okay.
Eso es el hábito.
La matemática del Dr. Sosa.
Yo no hago matemática.
Ok, so 2 onzas, 15, 20 minutos, no cada 5 minutos. Y si el propósito es que vas a beber poquito, pero
Frecuente.
más a menudo. Ajá,
es
correcto.
el propósito. Vas a beber frecuente, pequeñas cantidades. O al final del día vas a beber lo mismo que como bebes ahora. Yo me tomo una cola entera, una Pepsi-Cola entera de un viaje, y después no tomo por 3 o 4 horas. Yo pudiera beber eso durante 3 o 4 horas constantemente. Es un hábito.
Ahora, I'll go in English though. Pertaining kind of to that question about drinking water.
Right.
Right after surgery, some of the patients have a hard time getting the water down.
Right.
So I'll have you do the tip for getting the water down, and then could they come in for an IV if they're really having
water after surgery, especially the gastric bypass, does not go down well. If you give it a flavor, it goes down much, much better. So people will be yucked out by water because it's tasteless and it really yucks them out. So if you put a Crystal Light pack, it could be lemon, it could be strawberry, it changes the taste and it's tolerated better. You certainly can go with a Gatorade, sugar-free, zero, and that taste will make it go better. So if you're having trouble getting water in, it's just like, try to give it a taste, try to go with some of the Gatorade. Now I always tell folks, don't buy the big bottle of Gatorade, because by the time you drink the third or fourth, you'll be disgusted. And what you gotta do is change flavors constantly. It's crazy, but it works. If you change flavors every day or two, you'll tolerate it much better. And if you try to stick to one flavor, then it begins to gross you out. So flavoring, whatever you're gonna drink, little lemon, Crystal packets, whatever, makes it go down easier. In the first couple of weeks, it's hard sometimes to get all the fluid in. You're feeling a little dehydrated. That's what the IV service is for. We have a range of patients. Some patients never bothers them. And some patient is the worst morning sickness and they can barely get their water in for the first 2 or 3 weeks. Those are the great folks for the IVs.
And they can come get the IV at the Sosa.
Yeah, we have them.
Okay, next question. What about the gas within the soda? I thought we needed to stay away from anything that had bubbles or fizz after a gastric bypass. Would truly love the clarification. Love the live feeds, and of course, Dr. Sosa and his amazing team. Oh, I thank you.
Thank you. So, the pouch is small, the sleeve is small. If you put bubbles together with fluid, together with food, you're gonna feel miserable because they're gonna stretch the bubbles. You're gonna stretch. You're gonna feel miserable. You're gonna get a lot of coming back up, etc. So in the first 6 weeks, maybe even 2 or 3 months, avoid bubbles. Unless you're drinking champagne, which no. So all carbonated drinks in the beginning are not well tolerated because there's not enough space for the bubbles that are building and the fluid and even meals. We often tell you don't eat meals and drink right away because there's not enough room in the sleeve of the pouch. You're going to get uncomfortable. Once that settles down, 3 months have passed, 2 months, a month and a half, try some, and you love carbonated stuff, try it slowly. In the beginning, it might bother you a little because it extends it, you may get some, but most people can tolerate it. The other thing is, when you take a carbonated drink and you immediately open it, whatever it is, there's a much more carbonation. If you let it sit a couple of minutes, most of the carbonation, the bubbles have come out. There's still some bubbles to enjoy on your palate, so let the bubbles come out a little and then try it. And most folks will tolerate carbonated drinks after a while. 6 weeks, 2 months, 3 months.
So we actually had another question related to that. So we had 2 questions on carbonated drinks, but I think you hit it. The nutritionist said I should avoid carbonated drinks. Can I have them? So basically same question.
Okay, so one thing is, good advice, yes, avoid carbonated drinks. Most of them are not good for you. Sodas,
champagne.
So, that's not bad advice. The truth of the matter is most people will tolerate carbonated drinks eventually. And that eventually is variable. It's variable.
But definitely,
will it hurt you? It will not hurt you.
At the beginning, stay away from them.
Yes.
6 to 8 weeks. I would say 8 weeks to be safe.
You're not going to tolerate it. It's not going to be happy.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Next. I find that since I had gastric bypass, alcohol affects me quicker. I feel drunk and I feel sick from the first sip, so I avoid alcohol. Is there a reason for that?
Absolutely is. Whether it's the gastric bypass or even the sleeve, but the gastric bypass much more. You absorb alcohol much faster than when you are drinking to a normal stomach. The normal stomach is much bigger, so the fluid stays there longer. And the area where the alcohol is more absorbed, which is the intestines, takes longer to get there with a normal stomach. Once you have the gastric bypass, the alcohol is going to hit your intestines really fast. So your absorption is much faster. So you drink the same amount, after gastric bypass, you absorb much faster. So without a doubt, you get drunk faster, more drunk or drunker. So, you know, I always tell people when you first begin to consume alcohol, and always in moderation after bariatric surgery, do it at home, where you're not driving, where you're in a controlled environment. Go slowly, because your tolerance will be way lower than it was before. You just have to get used to your tolerance. And you have to be very, very careful not to end up abusing alcohol after weight loss surgery. And because of the absorption, etc., there is a tendency to develop alcohol use disorders is the new term that we use. So be very careful. Social, occasional.
Yes. And if it's making you feel sick, it may be that it has too much sugar. So a lot of times we do not realize the things that we're drinking, the sugar content in the things that we are drinking, especially for gastric bypass patients. If you're having a drink that has too much sugar, it's not going to make you feel good. It's not going to go down right, and it's going to make you feel sick.
Yes, sure.
So there's a combination of the actual alcohol and the sugar content that alcohol may have.
Right.
So, okay. When can I wear a faja?
Okay. So, I'm going to get nasty letters from the faja people. Fajas do nothing for you. They do not
Says a man.
decrease the skin. Let me finish. They do not decrease the skin. They not eliminate stretch marks. They don't make you tighter. Now, while you're wearing, without a doubt, you look better. So if that's what you're wearing, it's great. If you're wearing it because you think you're going to sag less, or doesn't work. When do we want you to wear it? Once you kind of healed. So typical advice is 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 2 weeks. Because if you squeeze the early wounds, the healing wounds, you can irritate them, you can make them upset. They, you know, the scar can be somewhat traumatized by the squeezing. So my usual advice is wait 2 or 3 weeks, then you can wear a faja. Again, if you're wearing a faja for comfort and for looks, okay. If you think it's gonna prevent sagging skin or stretch mark, it isn't.
Up for debate. No. He's the doctor, I guess. Sometimes we have to listen to him? Yeah, I think so. All right. Should I take probiotics after surgery?
Probiotics typically are a good idea. Typically they're a good idea. We may mess up your gut biome because we're giving you antibiotics to prevent wound infections. We're changing your diet massively in the beginning. You're not eating a lot of stuff that your gut biome usually needs. So yeah, your gut biome, your normal good germs in your colon may change. So reestablishing good gut flora, good gut bacteria is not a bad idea. Probiotics do that. So I think a lot of people find they make digestion nicer, easier, less gassy, etc., etc. So yes, I'm all for probiotics.
Yeah. I mean, I personally, even though I did not have surgery, I personally take our multivitamin. I just take 1 a day instead of 2. And I take our probiotics as well.
I occasionally take them.
I find that it does definitely help my digestive system. So that's just my personal experience with probiotics. And I mean, we have lots of other supplements that we recommend and that we have, but we can get into that later. Okay. So, just a patient saying she really loves our lives. Yay! We're glad. This is for you guys. So we are happy that...
I'm thinking of getting a makeup artist and maybe like a hair person, so, you know, we just look better.
Yes, he asked me earlier today, by the way, can you hire a makeup artist? I'm a little shiny. Yeah. And if we're a little blurry, it's because I didn't clean my phone because, once again, we were hangry. And then we have another patient. She says, amo mi operación. De 230, estoy en 158. Fantastic.
Very good. Very good.
So, I think that's right now. We've answered all the questions. So, what do you want to talk about? Not your personal life. What do you want to talk about related to our practice?
To weight loss surgery and our practice. So today, and this is one of the things I harp on all the time. 2 days ago, one of the patients came in and said, I want to sleep, and his BMI was 59, and I said absolutely not. And you know, and I said to him, you don't have to have the surgery I tell you, but I don't have to do the surgery I don't think will work on you. I do the surgery that I think will work. So today, for example, I did 2 gastrics, 1 sleeve. And to me, that's a pretty good balance. It should be about 50-50, maybe a little more gastric if you're dealing with a slightly more obese population, which I operate in a lot of men, they tend to be bigger. If you're a bariatric surgeon and you're doing 90% or even 100% sleeves, you're probably not offering the patients the right mix of operations, because there are clearly patients who are not going to do well with the sleeve. So it's one of the things I harp on. It's like, you gotta match the operation to the patient. If you don't, you're gonna have very high failure rates. Why are my sleeves so successful? Because I avoid sleeves in diabetics, I avoid sleeves in older people, I avoid sleeves with a BMI, in the high 40s, 50s, 60s. I just tell the folks no. And we're blessed, I'm blessed, thank God, thank you guys, that I have enough patients that I can honestly say to a patient, if you choose not to follow my advice, it's okay. I choose not to be your surgeon, because it's a very close relationship. You don't have to do what I want. I don't have to do what you want. We have to come to a mutual decision. And I cannot in good conscience do a sleeve on someone that I know it's not gonna work. I'm taking your money, you're gonna fail, and then you're gonna have to have another operation or stay morbidly obese. So, if you're thinking about weight loss surgery, you have to really look into it and be educated. One operation is not the right operation for everyone. Everyone needs to meet the right criteria and be the right person. And I always tell folks, you can lie to me. It's okay. Don't lie to yourself. Don't tell me I don't love sweets, I don't eat dessert, I don't eat cookies, when you really do, because you're lying to yourself. It's gonna fail. So, that's my harping on. Pick the right surgeon, pick the right operation. That's the best chance to be successful. Are we going to be 100% successful on all patients?
That's what I was gonna say.
Absolutely not. There is a percentage. In everything in life, there's a percentage of failure. Airplane engines, car engines.
Hopefully not when we're on.
Bridges,
Oh God.
surgery.
Scaring me.
There's always a percentage of things that don't work, even though you predict they're gonna work. So yes, there are folks who have a gastric bypass who gain the weight back or don't lose the weight. That's a fact. We have other ways to try to help, but it's a fact. But if you choose correctly, that percentage of failure is minimized. And that's what you got to do when you're treating a bunch of folks, is minimize the failures.
I'll add to that something we talked about, I think, on our first or second live. Step 1, you qualify for surgery. Step 2, choose the right surgery. Step 3, follow our instructions. We give you guys everything written down. Not only do we give you guys everything written down, you meet with Dr. Sosa, you meet with your coordinator, you meet with your nutritionist, you meet with your psychologist. We try our best to provide you all the tools necessary to make you successful. Now, you have to work. It is not, not like you stay home and don't work and you get a paycheck, right? You've got to work to get your paycheck. You've got to work. You've got to put in some effort to get the best results possible. Now, are there the lucky few that don't follow our instructions and still
get
do
away
well?
with it?
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't get away with it. So when I tell patients, don't cheat, and they go to me, I had a cheeseburger when we got the surgery and nothing happened. I go, yeah, you got lucky. You don't mind those patients end up in the emergency room with tubes, CAT scans, all sorts of problems. Just if somebody told you I got away with something, don't listen to them. It doesn't mean you're gonna get away with it.
So funny story. We stopped doing this, and luckily part of the reason is like our complications. Our patients have started listening to us. But we used to have a trend that we would call our patients by the name of what they cheated with.
Oh yeah.
Because we have a habit of becoming friends with some of our patients, especially back in the day when we would do the in-person support groups, and we had patients that would come month after month, and we got to know each other really, really well. And he had their permission. He would call them out in front of everybody. So we had croqueta.
Yep.
We had mac and cheese.
You know who you are.
We had frijoles.
Yeah, frijoles, guys. It's like, it's not clear and it's not liquid. It's frijoles. You're on clear liquids.
And it's funny because those are patients that actually admitted what they did, and a couple of those ended up in the hospital, and I think one of them even ended up with surgery. So it's not a joke. It really isn't a joke.
It can be. Yeah. It can be. Not following our instructions potentially can cause a real problem. So we don't just do it to be mean. We do it to keep you out of trouble.
Yeah, even if, like he said, a certain percentage of you may cheat and get away with it, we are doing it to keep that percentage of you that would end up in the hospital from ending up in the hospital. So there is a very important reason behind our strict guidelines. And the patients that tend to follow the guidelines more closely, I think right after surgery, tend to do better.
One of the best ones is the nutritionist told me I could try little eggs, and the nutritionist told me I could try a little tuna, and the nutritionist told me I could try mashed potato. So I put eggs, tuna, mashed potato, mixed them all up and ate it. And I just can't stop vomiting. I'm like, really? That's what you interpreted? Put them all together, mush them up, and yeah. So, step by step, little by little, we guide you.
At the beginning, I know we've talked about this before, it's very important to try things one at a time, to know what makes you sick and what you tolerate, and in very small amounts. So a couple of, not questions, but messages.
Oh, yeah?
Best power couple ever. Why, thank you. And
power, cute. Right?
You guys really make me happy with your lives. Thank you. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it, because once again,
give me feedback, because I thought this was a silly idea and I was never gonna do it. I was like,
my idea.
But it's fun, and B, it seems people are liking it. So
my idea was some of our patients, and I know we have patients that are on the lives and have been coming on the lives that have been our patients forever. So we started in 2001, it's 2004, so it's 23 years later. We have patients that still follow us and we still talk to. And prior to COVID, we had support groups and seminars that were in person. So for some of the newer patients, they don't know about this. What were you going to say?
No, but just...
that's 23 years?
An idea just popped into my head.
So the idea the reason why I had the idea of doing these lives was kind of to get that feeling of community that we used to have during the support groups. I miss it, and unfortunately, no, we're not going back to the in-person support groups because the world has changed. But I figured we could do something to kind of come together and answer your questions directly from the horse's mouth, so you do not have to go through somebody else. And then when I think the answer is wrong, I'll go ahead and clarify. So
some people are like, who are you? Where's the nasty, grumpy guy that we saw in the hospital? Why are you so like, you're a different person? The answer is yes, I'm schizophrenic. No. You guys should have seen in the days when we used to, we're going to do this again. It takes a lot of work and effort, yes. But we're going to have picnics again. Yes. We used to have picnics at Amelia Earhart. 150 patients would come, and I'd be having water fights with them, balloon fights, water guns, and they're like, you're so different. I'm like, yeah, because I'm not under stress right now. I'm not in the hospital. I'm not having to run an efficient thing. I'm not worried about somebody's life. I can be fun, just not in the hospital.
Okay, so I have 2 comments for me, and no, I did not pay these people, by the way.
Oh.
I like your short hair again. Why, thank you for noticing.
Me too.
And you are so beautiful, Mrs. Sosa. Why, thank you. Thanks to Botox, PRP, vitamins,
fillers,
IVs, weight loss, meeting with our nutritionist, and exercising at home. So I practice what I preach a lot. And then we have, so are you actually going to say your real age?
Oh, I forgot that. That's right. A lot of people, I was very, very happy. So one of my goals is to always look 10 years younger than I am. So the person that said I was 54 was right on.
No, they said 45 and 50 were the 2 guesses.
Oh, I thought one had said 54.
Well, maybe. We got a few. They were in that range.
Calendar year, I'm actually 63.
63.
63. I'm 63. But I look. So yeah, it's important to feel younger, look younger, act younger than you are. You live longer. Unless the bridge falls.
Oh my God.
That's life.
Please stop with the bridge.
One day
I'm not going to go across the bridge anymore. You're traumatizing me.
One day I'm going to tell you guys the 3, maybe next week, remind me, the 3 secrets to a long, healthy life.
We'll
there
do that
are
one
3
next week. Yes.
numbers, 3 sets of numbers that guarantee a long, Healthy Life. We'll do that next week.
Yes, because we need more time.
Yeah, we need a lot more time.
It says, I will see you tomorrow, Dr. Sosa, but love seeing your lives on IG. This is not the Dr. Sosa you get tomorrow.
No.
FYI.
Tomorrow I walk in, I go, you ready? Let's go. Sign everything. Let's go. I go to the team. Let's go.
So.
It's like Jekyll and
Jekyll and
Jekyll and Hyde. It's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Who's walking into the hospital? It ain't the nice guy.
Yeah, no. Definitely not. So, but yes, I know you mentioned the picnics, and I had been thinking about that.
Yeah. Those were nice. Lovely. Obviously, COVID put it all to end. Now that we're kind of getting away from the fear of being around a lot of each other and stuff, we might want to do it again.
Yes,
because it's fun, it's enjoyable, and it's a different setting for the patients and us.
Yeah, the first few years we did like a gala where we got dressed up and stuff, and then we started doing the picnics, and the picnics were a lot more fun because the whole family can come. Yeah. And we can run around and kind of practice what we preach once again, and exercise and be active and provide healthy food. We try.
And the kids love hitting me with water balloons.
Yes, that's the best part. Definitely the best part. So, 5 more minutes. What else? Oh, you gotta tell us are you gonna tell us a tip for today? Do you have a tip for today?
Right, a reminder. So the two things. One is something I should do because I should know better. That I don't, that I bet most of you don't either. So we take a good amount of supplements. We take our vitamins, but the one supplement that I never take that I should always take is vitamin D and calcium. Vitamin D and calcium are essential for bone health to prevent, when you're older, much older, bone fractures, hip fractures, weak osteoporosis, osteomalacia. And invariably, when we check people's vitamin D and calcium, the vitamin D is always low. Because our society is very hard to get enough sunshine most of the time throughout the year to get good levels of vitamin D. So vitamin D and calcium supplementation are essential. And I always forget. I mean, we have it around, but
we have it here in the office, yes.
That's the one supplement that I always forget to drink, and I really should drink. A key to vitamin D and calcium, they're fairly useless without exercise. So what you're trying to do is the vitamin D is helping the calcium get deposited into your bone. That process is assisted by impact. So when your bone has impact, when your bone has resistance upon it, when your bone gets stressed, it takes up the calcium much better. It's very hard to do if you're extremely sedentary. So the key to good vitamin D and calcium supplementation is, yes, take the supplements, but add bone stress. What's the easiest bone stress? Exercise. Be it walking, be it a little resistance training. If you're younger, running is amazing. But it's very hard to put calcium into your bones without stressing the bone, without exercise. So it's one of the supplements that I really need to concentrate on taking more. And I always forget.
So actually, since you're speaking of supplements and the vitamin D, so we have our idea for next week. So next week, we're going to do the 3 numbers for a long and healthy life. Then the week after that, I think we should actually review all of the products that we have here in the office for you, all of the different supplements.
Okay, I'll sit and nod, and you... I'm not doing homework because there's so many I can't remember them.
I'll bring them and I'll show them. I'll be like, the price is right. What's behind door number 1?
We'll do that show. And then the last thing was a health tip, which is do not drink those healthy smoothies. Do not. They're not healthy. They're not good for you.
Unless you're trying to gain weight.
I love all things tropical. I have mangoes, pina colada, strawberry daiquiris. Each one of those drinks has about 600 calories because it's that, fruit extract, etc. The same thing happens when you make a smoothie out of wonderful great fruits. What are you doing? You're mashing it up and you're releasing all that sugar that's in those fruits, especially the nice sweetie ones. That's going to give you a huge sugar load. But most importantly, it's got a lot of calories. One smoothie has more calories than the cheeseburger and fries I had for lunch. And if you put that, you say to most folks, which is healthier, invariably, they're going to go for the smoothie. Yes, it has antioxidants, it has vitamins, it has minerals. You can get all that stuff from a supplement. It also has a huge amount of sugar and calories. So, no piña colada, no strawberry daiquiri, no mango daiquiri, no smoothie made out of mango, strawberries, bananas.
Smoothies.
If you're trying to lose weight, if you're trying to watch your weight. If you do it as a treat now and then, realize you're having dessert. That equals a tres leche, flan, chocolate ice cream. That's what a smoothie is.
I mean, yeah, most of those fruit smoothies, at minimum, we're talking about 600 calories.
Yes.
And
Classic.
if you get a bigger size, then we're talking about 1,000 or more calories. So we're talking about your calorie intake for the whole day in a smoothie. So, real quick question, and then we're done. Can you please talk about the Afterpay plan for weight loss injections? Okay, so that would be me. So the Afterpay plan is just kind of a function that Square has. Square is our credit card processing service, and it kind of works like Affirm. If you've heard of Affirm, we also have Affirm. So they approve you, for the amount that you're paying for the whole thing. They provide the money to us, and then you pay them monthly, just like you would pay a credit card. Some of them have a finance fee, some of them don't. It depends what they offer you. So if you have questions on that, you can reach out to the office and we'll be more than happy to explain it to you in your specific case. You can also send us a DM, or we can check for you if you're a candidate and if they will approve you for that Afterpay amount. So,
all right, guys.
How much vitamin D per day?
My
Whatever the bottle
recommendation,
says.
exactly, because the different preparations are different. Typically, I can tell you 800 to 100, but the best thing is follow instructions on the bottle because those instructions are specific to whether it's calcium combined with whatever.
Yes. Every vitamin is prepared differently.
Yes.
That is why you should read the label.
And you should follow the label.
Yes. Okay, well, thank you guys for joining us once again. I think we're going to keep doing these. I think I've convinced them. I think you guys continue to encourage him to show up Wednesdays at 12:30. Are we going to call this one Dr. Jekyll or Mr. Hyde? Who's the nice one?
I don't know
I
who the
forgot.
nice one is.
I
You
haven't
guys
seen it in so long.
Send
No,
me a DM.
it's-
Who's the nice one? Is Dr. Jekyll the nice or is Mr. Hyde the nice? I can't remember.
Mr. Hyde is the nice one.
You
So,
think?
Mr.
I
Hyde,
think I'm
how are
almost
you?
positive.
Tomorrow, you will see Dr. Jekyll in the office. So,
See you tomorrow.
Bye.